Hello everyone. So now we'll discuss about the advanced processor technology. So in this, the first we'll discuss about a design space of processors. Processors can be mapped to a space that has clock rate and the cycle per instruction, that is nothing but CPI, as coordinates. Each processor types occupies a region of this space. Newer technologies are enabling higher clock rates. Manufacturers are also trying to lower the number of cycles per instructions. Thus, the future processor space is moving towards the lower right of the processor design space. So here the CPI versus processor clock speed of the major category of a processor's diagram is given. Okay. So you can see that CISC and RISC. So what do you mean by CISC and RISC processors? The complex instruction set computing CISC processors like the Intel 80486, the Motorola 68040, the VAX 8600, and the IBM S390 typically used micro-programmed control unit have lower clock rates and the higher CPI figures. So reduced instruction set computing, that is RISC, processors like the Intel i860, Spark, MIPS, R3000 and IBM RS6000, which have the hard wired control units, higher clock rates and the lower CPI figures. Superscalar processors. This subclass of the RISC processors allow multiple instructions to be issued simultaneously during each cycle. The effective CPI of the superscalar processor should be less than that of a generic scalar RISC processors. And the clock rate of a scalar RISC and the superscalar RISC machines are similar only. So next one, very long instruction word machines typically have many more functional units than the superscalar. These machines mostly use micro-programmed control unit with the relatively slow clock rates because of the need of use of ROM to hold the microcode. Next one is the super pipelined processor. So these processors typically use a multi-phase clock, that is actually several clocks that are out of phase with each other, each phase perhaps controlling the issue of another instruction running at the relatively high rate. The CPI in this machine tends to be relatively high, and the processor is vector supercomputers are mostly super pipelined and use multiple functional units for the concurrent scalar and the vector operations. So this is all about the design space of a processor.